knows what he's talking about, and he's a very good speaker. All right. On saying that, I'm going to turn it over. Yep.
All right. You guys fired up?
Yeah.
All right. That's the first thing, is you got to figure out a way in life to get yourself fired up, because if you're walking around bummed out all the time, that means there's something wrong. So you got to get a checkup from the neck up, okay? Write that down, checkup from the neck up. That's good, all right? In other words, we're going to address some mental things here today, because attitude for you to be successful in life is going to be everything. You have to figure out a way to get the right attitude. The thing that I'm here to talk to you about is drug addiction today, okay? Or chronic drug addict, not a little drug addict, not a kind of drug addict, total drug addict. But I use the word drug in there because that's what you guys are supposed to not do, because it's going to ruin your life, okay? That's what everybody's telling you. But I'm going to tell you the reality of it. It's going to ruin your life, all right? This is not a joke. This is not a game. I'm here to tell you what happened to the people that I went to school with, just like you. I was the biggest drug dealer in Plymouth High School in 1981, 82, and 83, okay? I was the guy that everybody scored from. I was the guy that ended up getting clean by 1981, and all the guys that were jocks, and I was a jock too. I was actually a starter on the football team, but I got kicked off for getting drunk. The difference is the attitude, okay? Those people, they thought they were better than me because they didn't get kicked off the team. Of course, they were getting stoned and buying drugs from me the whole time anyway, but they just didn't get caught. So just remember that part, is there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same thing, but some get caught and some don't, okay? Fact and point is, when they all went off to college, when they came back, they were trying to buy drugs from me, and these are the same guys, many of them, that you know, we did not want to associate with, because we were the freaks. That's what we called ourselves back then, all right? I don't know what you call them today. But the fact is by 21 years old, I was totally clean, and now some of these guys were becoming the same addict that I was, because now when they went off to college, they found out about cocaine, or they found out about LSD, or they started doing ecstasy, or they started playing the games that I used to play. The cool part for me was I got it out of my system at a young age, so that when I was in the age of being able to be successful and learn according to the world standards, which is all about money. That's what everybody rates success on. But I'm going to tell you, happiness and success, you might want to write this part down, is way more than money. There are a lot of people who are multi-millionaires and even billionaires that end up committing suicide because they're not happy inside. So you can have all the money you want. Now I will tell you, money will take care of a lot of stress, struggle, frustration, worry, doubt, fear, and all of the negative emotions that might cause you to catch a buzz. Because a lot of people get drunk because they're just unhappy with who they are in life. A lot of people get high because they're just unhappy. So when I talk about getting drunk, getting high, or any of these kinds of things, a drug is a drug is a drug. Can everybody repeat this after me? Alcohol is a drug. Say this with me. Alcohol is a drug. Don't be confused about this subject. Don't think you're better because you get drunk and somebody else smokes pot. Because personally, if you wanted my professional opinion, I'm a professional drug user, okay? I will tell you right now, I got in way more trouble with alcohol than I did with most of the other drugs that I used. Honestly, I mean, we sold speed, we sniffed Van Apple gas, we did everything. I sniffed regular gas, you know, because I went to drug rehab and I found out, wow, you can get high sniffing gas? You can get high sniffing Lysol? Oh, this is cool, man. I don't even have to pay for that. I can just take it from underneath the kitchen counter. Yeah, and fry about 10 million brain cells in one swing, okay? There was a guy that I became a sponsor of in the Narcotics Anonymous program that at 18 years old, he was the #1 basketball player at Sheboygan South. He was called Dr. J because he was earmarked to be college and pro ball all the way. His name is Rick Sherman. Still a friend of mine today. Most people think he's got a mental illness today when they run into him because he walks down the sidewalk like this. I'm going to tell you, some guys thought it was really funny to go ahead on Rick's 18th birthday party, and he took a hit of acid because it was his birthday. So he knew he was tripping. Little did he know that somebody else threw 20 extra hits into his beer at the party. Rick lost his mind that night. I became Rick's sponsor later on in life, and I get a little emotional about this. I was the guy that sold that drug. So I know what I was doing was hurting people. And I look back on some of those things because I know my drugs were getting into my cousin's hands. You know, when he was 12, he was selling my drugs when I was 17, 18, or 19. You know, and I look back at some of those things, and I'm just here to tell you that, you know, you can never change your past. Just remember that. You can never change your past. All you have control of is this second, right now, right here. This is it. And life is a decision. Now I'm going to tell you something. You are at right now where you are at because of the choices that you've made in your life. And for some of you guys, the choices that you made in your life are pretty awesome. So you're like, yeah, this is great. I'm straight A's. I'm honor roll. I'm student council. I'm this, I'm that. I'm doing great. And you know what? Pat yourself on the back. That's great. Keep doing that. For some of you, you know, you're bumming. You're effing, you're D'ing. And you know you're bummed out. You're getting stoned every day after school, sneaking into the auditorium like I used to do up into the catwalks and catch a buzz in between class. You know, bring other people over, have a little party, get arrested. You know, do all those kinds of things. I was arrested 17 times before I turned 18 years old. Okay, they wanted to waive me to adult court and have me sit as an adult for 30 days in jail, or 6 months in Lincoln Hills Boys School, or drug rehab. Okay, so that's where I was by the time I had turned 17. I was arrested, did I say 17 times? 18 times I was arrested by 17. But either way, it was a lot. So there was a lot of mental and emotional crap going on. So let's get into the emotional part of it. Why did I get high in the first place? What was I trying to escape from? What was the game that was going on inside me that led me to this point of wanting to escape so bad? Okay? Anybody have a weird uncle? You probably don't want to admit that, especially you guys, okay? I had a weird uncle. Now some of you just think he's weird. No, I'm saying weird uncle like touched you. Sexual abuse, okay? This is real stuff. And some of you guys never talked about it for your whole life. And you're going to have a screwed up marriage as a result of that. You're going to have screwed up situations with your children because of that. You probably already got screwed up situations with family members. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to figure out how to get some help. You need to figure out, because it's going to cause you to get high someday. You're going to be getting drunk someday, and you're going to wonder, why do I do this? And I'm going to tell you, I'm telling you right now, you're going to remember that weird-looking guy in the health class that talked to you named Rock one day and told you guys that the reason that you're doing drugs, the reason that you're getting high, the reason that you're trying to escape, because that's all it's really about. See, the common denominator that every person in this class has right now, I don't care who you are, I don't care what, you might have Ozzie and Harriet, you know, Leave It to Beaver, Happy Days, you know, the Cunningham family. You might have the most, you know, sweetest, most awesome mom and dad, and I wish I would have grew up in that, but I didn't. But if that's what you came up with, guess what? Somewhere along the line, if you don't got it already, there's coming a point and a time when you're going to need to have the things together within you to be able to deal with challenges in life. Okay? So what I started to say is you are at where you're at because of the choices you made in your life. Everybody get that down? You are at where you're at because of the choices you made in your life. Now, that can be exciting or depressing. What I'm going to tell you, though, is you will be at in your future where you will be at because of the choices you make in your life. So that's the exciting news, is you have a choice today. You can't get back tomorrow. If you screwed up tomorrow or yesterday, you can't get back yesterday is what I'm trying to say. Because yesterday's gone. But if you can take yesterday and you can look back at yesterday and use it as a growth experience, if you can use it as something, as a foundational building block that's going to make you a powerhouse in the future, then you can literally do anything. And I'm here to tell you, you can literally do anything in your life.